Hey everyone, I am Amanda from Mandy Lynn Plans. Welcome back for my May flip through. I am just going to go ahead and show you everything that I did in my planner for the month of May. So I like to start here with my monthly spread. This is the main place where things happen. I have a lot going on in this spread. I have obviously our appointments and things, but then I also have kind of my goals, the things that I want to get done this month. And then I have a little spot for bills that need to get paid. And then I have the color key for the color coding that I do. I use little dots to show me if it's recycle or trash week, and then which weeks are paydays as well. It just kind of frees up a little bit more space in my monthly spread. And then flipping to the first weekly, this was the week of Cinco de Mayo, and so I used this Fiesta kit that we have in the shop. This was the first week that I didn't completely fill up this little sidebar here. I was using it differently. The previous time I was really filling it up, and so I changed how I did this going forward, and I did a little bit something different here. I really like being able to kind of mix up my spreads a little bit and just do things a little bit differently. So here, since I wasn't using all of that space, I did go ahead and throw that decorative full box that comes in our sticker kits. So here is the week of the 6th through the 12th. And then for the next week, I used the Delectable Strawberry Kit, which was what the monthly spread was here. And I did my sleep tracker, habit trackers, and then this ombre box for the week. Instead of doing a really long to-do list, I just did my to-do lists at the bottom. We were traveling a lot here, had a lot going on. And then this week was really fun. I did kind of a rainbow spread. So each day had its own color. And these are the stickers that are in the tropical color scheme. So I have my trackers, a little spot for my Be Grateful, and my to-dos at the bottom. And then I used my water trackers and then just a lot of my script stickers to fill out the week. And then some Erin Condren washi tape as well. Then the last week in May was Memorial Day, and so I did kind of the same thing where each day had its own color, and I really liked the way that that came out visually. It was very fun, obviously with this rainbow, but even with the colors repeating, the red, the cream, and the blue, red, cream, blue, red, it was really simple. I didn't have to think about which colored stickers to use where. I'm kind of OCD, and so if I can avoid it, I don't like the colors to touch normally, but it always happens somewhere. Let me show you what I mean. So here, like the greens are really close. And so I try to avoid things like that, but I really liked having just one color per day. So I think that I will continue that moving forward. And then I realized that I double dipped. I had this ombre for my meals, but then I also had already put a sticker for each meal plan for the supper. And so I started writing them here. And then when I went back to kind of fill out my spread a little bit, I realized that I had this box and meals down here really for nothing. So that was kind of a waste. Then flipping to more of the bullet journal type section in my Hobonichi, I use the daily pages as a bullet journal. I ignore the dates at the top here. I even whited it out, but you can see it is in the May section. This was just kind of a decorative. I was going to go in and kind of color in the little bee hexagons here, and I started to, but I never really went back and did much more, and you will see that as a theme here as we flip to my trackers. I have pretty much decided that these types of monthly trackers just do not work for me. I did more than I did the last time, but they don't work for me super well. Here's my expense tracker. I have not gone in and filmed my end of the month budget wrap up yet. I will be doing that shortly. I did have a couple of no spend days, not very many. I think that we may have had a couple more in this last week, but not a ton more to add there. And you will probably notice a theme. The theme for the boho berry box in May was this what was it? something about being humble, work hard and be humble or something like that. And so a lot of these stickers, the washi tape, came from that. And so I was kind of carrying that through. You'll notice in my dailies. Here is my May editorial calendar. I like just using little post-it notes so that I can move things around because my video schedule is always changing. It doesn't always happen the way that I plan out at the beginning. And this was my first weekly spread. So I was trying out the long, skinny to-do lists, and I really liked that. So I actually did the exact same thing for the next week, and then I wanted to mix it up a little bit. So after my prayers and quiet time notes, I have the next weekly spread that I tried, and this was more of, I had more space to write this way, but I didn't have as much room this way to write my big long list of to-dos, and so it didn't take me long to figure out that I didn't love the way that this was turning out. So then I wanted to try something completely different for the last week in May, and I love this. I don't love the way that it looks visually. I tried to do every other space with my gray mild liner, and I hate the way that that looks, but I didn't hate it enough to completely redo this spread. But I love the way that this worked and the functionality of it. Just having a big list and being able to check off some things are recurring things, some things I just needed to do a couple times a week, some things that were day specific I circled so that it drew attention. Like I needed to send this birthday card on Wednesday so that it got to him on his birthday on Friday. When I made the list, it was Monday, and this could have very easily have gotten lost in the list, except that I circled the day that I needed to do it. And then grades was also very, very important. It was a top priority. And so even though it was a little bit down on the list, I put a star next to it so that I would remember that had to be done first thing Monday morning. And then as soon as I got the things done that I needed to, I just put a check over here. I didn't do it with things like orders and the post office drop because that basically happens every day of the week. And so if it already had a check over here, it didn't necessarily mean that it was completed until the check was on the left side, if that makes sense. And then some things got a little arrow to move to the next week. So then after that, I have just my ideal morning routine. One thing I love about the bullet journal system is that you can kind of just throw in random lists and collections as you wish. And so this was one of those things that I just kind of wanted to throw in. And then over here, I was testing out the colors of the washi and some markers that I wanted to use. I think here I was trying to see if I could highlight over my Tombow mono drying pen, and it didn't go well. It smudged, and so I was kind of sad about that. But then this was the very last bit of May here, and I love these two washi's together. So I've actually used quite a bit of that for my June. I will link my June bullet journal setup. If you have not seen that yet, you will see these washi's again because I just love the way that they look. So this spread is really working for me. I actually just recently, this morning, set up this upcoming week the exact same way, and I think that it will probably be similar to how I plan on doing my to-do lists in the upcoming weeks. So that is the end of what I have to show you for May. I hope that you found something useful. Thank you so much for watching. Until next time.